There's no better way to learn the ropes of running a business than to talk to the people who have been there. Business Solutions is just that. We bring in a company that briefly shares a challenge they're facing in their market so we can focus on the opportunity out of that challenge. Scott Langdon with DataTel joins me and Dan Long of the Sandbox Group. Scott, thanks so much for being with us. Dan, as always, good to see you. So Scott, for those few who don't know about DataTel, telecommunications company, how long have you been around?
Since 1963.
And you were started out through deregulation, right?
Yes, deregulation when back in those days you had to rent your telephones, if everyone remembers that. And they got out of that business, and equipment you were able to purchase it. So the original company name was Executone, and we changed the name about 12 years ago to DataTel because we knew the data side was coming, so we did that name change.
So what kind of products and services do you provide?
We provide voice over IP for businesses, high-speed internet, dial tone, full turnkey A to Z coverage for any communication needs that a business wants.
How important is communication to a business now? I mean, everyone it's speed, right? It's how quickly you can do it. So what is the biggest challenge that you're facing in your business today?
Technology is constantly changing. One of the things that we always have to be cognizant of is training, making sure our technicians are trained, making sure that they're updated on the new and latest hardware and products that are out there.
So you can continue to be reinvent yourself every year or two, right? I mean, something new, you've got to have the manuals on it, you've got to have the training on it, you've got to become the experts on it. So that's really your biggest challenge. So what are you doing to solve that? What kind of investments are you making?
Our technicians go to training classes all the time, depending on different features and functionalities in the voice over IP world. We want to make sure that they're up to date. We don't want our technicians to go out there and read a manual. We want them to be proficient. We want them to get the issues resolved quickly and be able to install them quickly.
One of the things that really struck me during this difficult downturn in the economy, their average tenure is 15 years for their employees, and they've had no cutbacks. They've had a very loyal customer base, and that's because they're not afraid of investing into their customer.
Let's talk about that. When you say invest into your customer, what does that look like?
Well, there's two customers the way I look at it. You got your internal customers, which is your employees, and you have to invest in that customer base. You have to take care of your employees. You have to make them feel like they're satisfied at your company. So training, giving them more things to do at the organization, looking for the input. I mean, DataTel would not be successful without the employees. As first. Second is delivering the customer service to your customers, listening to their needs, helping them out with their issues in the telecommunication world, and delivering those services to them.
He told a great story about a customer that left and just recently came back, and they said, hey, we came back because we get service. And that's from a well-invested, well-trained workforce.
How do you strike that balance when you talk about investing in your customers, considering the rapid change of technology? How are you working through that process to keep your customers up to speed on what's going on? Because I think, looking down the road, it's easy to see a time when there won't be a phone on a desk because it's just going to be what's going with you everywhere.
Exactly. What you need to do is we've refocused. We used to do some different advertising methods, media. We've kind of switched those gears, and we believe in feet in the street. So taking the technology to the customer, letting them know the changes that are happening in the environment, letting them know the new features and functions that can benefit their business and make them successful, and be able to communicate that to them.
And that's a way for you to open the doors with the customer as well.
Exactly.
And they're more receptive.
Yes.
Because oftentimes I can imagine this whole technology thing can be a bit scary. It's the unknown. We don't know what changes are coming down the pike as far as the technology is concerned the next 6 months, and so out of the unknown breeds fear.
It's just like in the jewelry business. If you don't know diamonds, know a jeweler. If you don't know technology, know a technology company. Absolutely critical.
We've changed our roles in selling. We're more of a consultant. And you have to look at that as consulting your customer base and letting them know things that are available.
Trust, honesty, the whole bit.
Great lessons for every small business, regardless of what they're in. Scott Langdon, DataTel, thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate that. Dan Long, Sandbox Group, thank you. And when we return, we're heading to the cutting edge to see how one company in the Treasure Valley is protecting the environment and your bottom line.